What's up everyone, Zero here. So I wanted to put together a quick video for Betrayal. There was a lot of good changes in the 3.26 expansion, and I want to go over those as well as how just to do the mechanics. So if you're brand new to Betrayal, the goal of this video is to get you a thorough understanding of it. If you find value from this video at all, please consider subscribing to the channel. And with that, let's get into it. So in Act 9, you're going to meet June. She is the NPC for Betrayal, and she tasks you with investigating the syndicate to uncover safe houses and defeat Katarina, who is the head of the mastermind safe house. Syndicate encounters appear randomly in the maps or can be guaranteed with Betrayal Scarabs and Atlas passives. There are 4 divisions in the syndicate. There's transportation, fortification, research, and intervention. Each encounter spawns 1 to 3 syndicate members, depending on the relationships that you have built up in your board, and we'll get into that in a second. After you defeat each member, you're going to be given choices, which are going to allow you to shape how the board turns out. So this is my board right here. I know this looks really, really complicated, but it's not at all. I can get you to understand this very, very easily. So forget about what this looks like right now. Let me show you what the encounters look like. So here is research, where you have this laboratory right here. You walk in, and at the bottom, you're going to see it says 4 must survive and 5 remaining. And what that means is these guys in here are all trying to destroy evidence. So what you want to do is get to the end before they destroy more than 4 of the evidence pieces that are down there. And you can see there's like a red bar indicating how close they are to destroying them. So once you get to the end, you're going to defeat the syndicate members, and they're going to pop up like this. The next one is intervention, which is just random throughout the map. It's not like a specific area. You're just going to be fighting, and they're going to come out and jump you, indicated by these little icons right here on the map. They're going to pop up after the encounter's finished. You'll see a banner right here that says defeat the intervention members. The next one is transportation. You can see the little cart moving here, and the banner will pop up and say stop the caravan before it reaches the end. So you have to kill the NPCs before they get to the end of their route. The next one is fortification. This is a little area right here, and then you can enter in, and they're usually right here in the center. I actually killed him because sometimes they hop out of it as well. You just kill them, and that's what fortification looks like. You can see it's indicated by the little square right here on the map. If we pop over here to Reddit, we can see the Betrayal cheat sheet. And there's actually a link to this in Awakened PoE Trade. So you can see here, these are the members of the syndicate. These are the houses. These are the factions that they can belong to. And these are the rewards that they give within that specific safe house. The green ones are the best ones. So ideally, you would want to farm Gravicious and Verici in transportation, and Janice and Guff in research. Now, the reason why you want to do that is Gravicious drops a full stack of divination cards, and they can be very rare. You can get a full stack of apothecary cards or even a House of Mirrors. Verici drops full stacks of currency. As far as I can tell, this follows the same thing as Emperor's Luck, the divination cards, so it's kind of just hit and miss. You could get 20 divines or you could get 20 transmutes. It really just depends. On my board, I had Corel in there because I thought that the Anarchy Scarabs were going to be worth a lot more than they were. So I messed that up. But you can fix it if you screw your board up. I'm just pretty lazy, and I haven't done so. As you can see here on the board, each member has a rank, and that's indicated by the amount of stars next to their name. So the name of the game is to get the person that you want to farm within their safe house faction at rank 3. And the way you do that is every time you complete an encounter, you're going to be given 3 options per NPC. So you can either interrogate, execute, bargain, or betray. And each one of those choices does something different. Quick tip to remember, because when you start your board, it's going to look like this with a bunch of question marks. So you're going to be bringing people in to the board as you're completing the encounters. Now, if somebody pops up in an encounter that you don't want, Like, let's say, for instance, I'm trying to get Vegan in transportation and he keeps popping up in fortification. What I want to do is interrogate him, because that's going to make him lose 1 rank and it's going to keep him at 0 stars. The members that have 0 stars are more likely to move around the board, because the other options that they're going to give you is you can bargain and it'll say Vegan moves to transportation or Vegan moves to intervention. And that can only happen within that specific encounter. So just keep running maps and eventually Vegan will pop up in transportation with an option to move him in there. And that's how you organize your board. So the easiest way to do this is to just keep running Betrayal, keep interrogating the members until you are able to get the options to place the people where you want them. So let's take a look at my board real quick. And let's remove all the relationships just to make it real simple. So this is what the board looks like without any relationships formed. So a very, very good farming strategy for Betrayal is to set up your board with a 2-2-5-5 strategy. And what that means is you have 2 people in one of the safe houses that you want to farm and 2 people in the other safe house that you want to farm, and then the rest just go in the safe houses that you don't want to farm. And there's a reason for that, but we'll get into that in a second. So you keep running the mechanic and interrogate until you can get people where you want them to be. So as you can see, I have Gravicious and Corel in transportation. So I'm going to get the full stack of divination cards and Anarchy Scarabs when I run that safe house. I have Janice and Guff in research. So I'm going to get the unique for gold vendor. You can get T0 uniques. That's really what you're hoping for. And then the other one is a budget reflecting mist, where it pops up a window and it times you and it allows you to use a alchemy orb, a blessed orb, annulment and exalted orbs, and 5 divine orbs. And then it allows you to use a budget reflecting mist that doesn't have as high a multiplier as the normal reflecting mist does. So it allows you to use that every time you run the safe house. And it gives you the jewelry to use it on. It's only used on jewelry. So once you have everybody in place, the name of the game is to fill up this experience bar as fast as possible so that you can run the safe houses as much as you can. The other 2 safe houses that you don't want to run, you never have to worry about them again. So as soon as you have these people in place, you never have to worry about clicking these ever again. So you're just focusing on the 2 safe houses that you want to run. So as you can see here, if you pop up the Betrayal help button, it'll show you here that this indicates that members trust each other, and these indicate that members hate each other. Trusted members will show up in the other person's encounter to help them out, and rivaled members will show up a little bit more often in the person's encounter to fight them. So the name of the game is to build as many relationships hooked up to the houses that you want to farm. So this way you get more options to gain experience. So let's take a look at what I do here in this encounter. You want to make sure to check every NPC that's in the encounter before you make your first option, because when you make your first option, it's going to change the other options. So you want to make sure that you're not missing out on plus 15 or plus 18 research intelligence or something like that before you make your first decision. So as you can see here, I had just run a safe house, so that member is going to lose all of his ranks. It's giving me the option to execute to rank him up. Here for Elrion, I could either imprison him and gain research intelligence, or betray and Guff is removed from the Immortal Syndicate. Now I already have my board set up the way I want to, so obviously I'm just going to interrogate him to get the intelligence for the safe house. And that right there is exactly why you want as many connections as possible. Because Elrion, as you can see here, he's in the fortification safe house. But when we ran this research encounter, he popped in because he is rivaled with Guff. So I was able to kill him, and now I can imprison him and gain intelligence for this safe house. So it's kind of a little bit of a loophole. And that works the same way with trusted relationships as well. It's just that it's a little less common. So ultimately what you want to do is have everybody rivaled. That way they have the highest chance to pop into each other's encounters. So I interrogate Elrion, And I pop over here to Guff, and you see his option changed to research intelligence. As you could tell before, it said already at max rank, no change. And once I chose those other ones, it allowed me to get research intelligence for the bargain on him. So in this encounter, only one NPC showed up, which happens from time to time. So as you can see here, since he popped up in the intervention encounter, even though he has relationships with people in the safe houses that I want to run, he doesn't have an option that affects the safe houses that I care about. So you can either just release him, which changes nothing, or you could just get the intelligence, even though you're not trying to run the safe house. Same difference. So as you can see here in this transportation encounter, Janice, Hillock, and Corell showed up. Now I had just run the Janice safe house, so he's down to 1 star. I'm going to get him 1 rank. Pop over to Corell. It says already at max rank, so no effect. I'm going to go check Hillock to make sure that there isn't a better option. So since they're both the same, Hillock is in the fortification safe house, but he is rivaled with Corell. So I can interrogate him and get transportation intelligence, even though he's in the fortification safe house. So I'm going to interrogate him, and then I will pop back over to Corell. And as you can see here, the option changed. So Corell and Tora become neutral. Now you never want to choose this. There are 2 things that you never want to choose: remove all rivalries and become neutral with another member. Now there is one caveat. If you make a mistake and you want to remove a relationship, then 100% you want to choose this option. But as soon as you have your board set up, you never want to pick this. So I just release them so that there is no change. So now as far as the passive tree goes, you definitely want to get lethal extraction, because every time you execute a member, it's going to grant you experience based on their rank. So if they have 3 stars, it's going to grant you 6 experience instead of just 3. You definitely want to get Test of Loyalty, because this way you only have to execute them once and they're going to go all the way up to rank 3. And you want to get Effective Leadership, because this is going to increase the chance that they're going to be accompanied by the leader of their specific safe house. So you got to remember, the name of the game is to get the most options possible per encounter, because that's going to give you the most opportunity to gain experience for the safe house that you want. Now there are some scarabs that will help. So the main scarab that is going to help you with this is the Betrayal Scarab of Reinforcements. Syndicate members in the area have 50% increased chance to be accompanied by reinforcements, and that's exactly what you want. You want the most people in the encounter as possible, so this scarab is definitely going to help you with that, and they are fairly cheap. At the time of making this video, they are a little more than 1 chaos each. Once you farm enough syndicate experience, you're going to get a fragment drop in the safe house for the mastermind, and that's Katarina. Right now, she's not in that good of a spot, so what I usually do is I just sell them. As you can see here, the Syndicate Medallion goes for 2.5 Divine. So every time you get one, that's an extra 2.5 Div. So quick tips, just to go over everything again with you guys real quick. Use a cheat sheet like we saw on Reddit. I'll link it in the description below. Make sure to use your Atlas passives like we just went over. In the very beginning when you're farming this, if you're lower level, make sure to farm it on low tier maps, because it does not alter the outcome of the intelligence of the safe house. You're still going to get the exact same options. Now, if you mess up and your board gets kind of screwed up, remember, all you have to do is just keep interrogating, and it'll allow you to move people around your board. And make sure to use the Scarab of Reinforcements. And that's the Betrayal mechanic in a nutshell. So make sure to focus on that 5-5-2-2 setup, prioritize research and intervention, and use the cheat sheet to optimize what you're trying to farm. So if you found this guide helpful at all, please consider dropping a like and subscribe, and stay tuned. I have plenty more PoE content coming, so I will see you guys next time. Peace.